9:15 a.m. I am Chase Hunter. I go by the name of Retro Shark on Twitter, so that's how most of you guys probably know me. I'm currently working on a game called Buster Blitz. It is a action shooter from a top-down perspective, all with pixel art graphics, and been working on the game for about 3 weeks now, and decided it was finally time to try to do a development log. I would like to do devlogs throughout the series of working on the game, and just basically document my experience in the game from early development to final release. So this is going to be kind of very testy the first few weeks as I try to work out the kinks of filming myself and feeling very uncomfortable in front of the camera. So I might do a lot of voiceovers for the first few weeks to see how that goes. But basically I'm going to just put together these small videos, try and keep them under 15 minutes or so of my development progress of the game, and I'll tell you guys what I'm working on and go over things, and if there's anything that seems interesting to you or any of the techniques that I'm doing, be free to comment below and I can do a more in-depth video of something if anything piques someone's interest. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Best place to reach me is definitely on Twitter, but I'm gonna be very attentive to the comments on YouTube as well. So it'll just be a new thing for me, so it might just take me a little bit to get used to. But to go over what I'm working on right now and the footage that you guys are watching, I'm currently reworking all of Buster's animations for walking. So this is currently his side-to-side movement, and you can see his left arm is missing, and that is because it is his armed animation for when he's holding a gun or any sort of weapon. And basically the way I have it programmed is the arm or the hand that he is holding the weapon in will just disappear while he's holding that weapon. It's a little bit cheaty, but I didn't want to have to animate him holding the weapons in each direction. So you'll see in a later clip in the video that how that works. But basically I spent a large majority of this day organizing all those animations, getting them on a single sheet, which I'll show you now. And you can see all the animations laid out. This is actually a sheet of both the idle animations and the walking animations for Buster. If I add any additional animations, I'll just increase the canvas size for this this tile set and include more animations there. But for now, this is definitely going to be as much as I need to get a good basis going for his animations. So I will get back to you when I have any updates for what I'm working on next. Alright, so I wanted to do a quick little demo to show you guys how I am doing the directional facing for Buster in the game. So what I did is I programmed up a little visual for you guys, so you can see these points being drawn from Buster's coordinates to the corners of the camera in the room. And if you notice, when I go over one of these lines, he will switch his orientation. So he'll go from facing up to facing right to facing down to facing left. And you'll see as well when he's facing up or facing down, when he crosses over Buster's X coordinate, he does a little jitter here. This is currently a little thing that I need to fix because his up and down facing sprite it's not an even number, so it's an odd number of pixels, so there's no center point that will cause it to flip seamlessly. So I need to do a little bit of an offset thing there to correct that. I just haven't implemented that part yet. But yeah, so you'll see he'll move directions, and it actually prioritizes facing towards the mouse no matter what direction you're currently walking. So if I was to walk backwards, you'll see he will walk backwards. Now you'll notice here as well, these lines will adjust. And that's, like I said before, because it's following Buster's X and Y coordinates, and it's also following the coordinates of the corners of the display or of the camera in the room. So if I move around, no matter where Buster is in the room, because my camera is kind of dynamic and it doesn't follow him perfectly in the center, it corrects for that and accounts for it, basically resulting in this technique working. If you want me to go more into depth with this, it was something that I considered making some sort of a tutorial for. So if that's something that you guys think you'd be interested in, comment down below and let me know, and I can definitely look into creating some sort of a video tutorial on how to go about executing this technique. Basically, I'm using triangles. These are actually not just points, it's calculating triangle regions for Buster, and depending on the mouse's coordinates, it is adjusting Buster's facing direction. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too confusing and too technical, but that is how I am currently doing the facing for Buster in the game. Alright, so I want to be 100% truthful with you guys and let you know that today I didn't get much dev stuff done. Me and a friend ran down to IKEA, which is a little bit of a drive. It's closer to Philadelphia. And I got a couple things for my room so that I can continue to move this towards more of a apartment feeling space. So what we grabbed was this new coffee table right here from in front of my couch. Grab this a side table here, which matches the one that I already had right here, which doubles as my bedside table. Over here, this was the other purchase I made. This is actually a dining room tabletop, which I got because it gives you more depth from front to back. And then I got these cheap $4 office legs, and then I had to run over to the hardware store and grab a couple things so I could mount those legs to the bottom of this table, because it's not actually meant to be like that. But it worked out really nice, and it only cost me around like $65 after I got the hardware from the hardware store to attach the legs. But I'll go over with you quick the plan to finish out my room so you guys know what to expect. I'm going to be getting another tabletop exactly like this one for right here. And then I'm going to get the automatic sit stand legs that you can buy online. And then my MacBook, which is what I actually develop Buster Blitz on, and my iMac will both move over to that desktop. And then my PC, which is down here, will move up to the top of the table so you can actually see in the window of it, which you can't really see in this shot, but it has a window on the side, and I want to have that viewable since I do have lights in there and stuff like that for when I'm gaming or using software that is Windows based. Will be right next to it, so I can just easily move back and forth, but more of my productivity desk will be here, and that'll be the sit stand one coming in the near future. Then I have a plan to purchase a small projector for right in here. Mind my phone notifications, but I'm going to get a little projector for right there. And mind the mess over on this side. This was my old desk right here. Trash, we'll just block that out. But yeah, then I'm going to remove all this area, and I'll just leave this big cabinetry unit, and I would be able to project up movies and video games and things like that for when I have friends over. And that's actually the plan, is to also have gamepad support for Buster Blitz, so I'll be able to project that up there, and I can have play testing nights with my friends as well. But I just want to give you a little update with my life for today, because I didn't get much work done in the way of game dev. I am going to cut to a couple clips now of some of the work I got done after I got home, but this was the majority of my day was focused around the furnishing of my room. But let me get on with what I did get done today. Alright, so this little section here is actually filmed before the last clip that you saw. I did this in the morning before I went to IKEA. And basically what I'm doing is I'm using a graph paper notepad to sketch out a couple letters here as reference for some of the characters that I still have to draw. So I go out and basically block out those letters on the graph paper, and then you'll see in the next clip in a second that I begin working on an exclamation mark and a $sign and a few others, but I believe there's only a couple that I show actually on video. But basically I went through and did this with a bunch of these symbols until I was happy with the way they looked, and then I moved over to the computer and finished drawing those up, which I will show you in a second here. Alright, so what I went ahead and did is just did a little cut to show you the final result of the font thus far. So also to explain a little bit from the last clip what was going on, I was sitting using the graph paper notebook and drawing up each letter. I was using reference from online to other bit fonts to try to come up with a font that's very readable, has a very good like aesthetic to an arcade feel, and I also needed it to stand off from the backdrop a little bit, so then I used a pretty commonly used technique to just offset right and down one the letter and make it black instead, so you can see it. There's a little bit of a drop shadow look going on with the letters. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is add in the rest of the symbols here today, and then the font will be complete in its current iteration of what it is, and then obviously I can change it at any time if I decide to, but for now I'm pretty happy with it. I think that it fits the aesthetic of the game, and we'll go from there. Alright, so it is now Saturday, November 17th at around 3:30. I woke up this morning and got to work on editing the video for this week. Definitely glad that I started first thing in the morning because I forgot how long it takes to edit, and I'm a little rusty, so it definitely took a little bit longer than expected. But I've been working on that all day today, and over here you can see I got Red Dead Redemption yesterday, so I've been playing through a little bit of that while I take some breaks from editing. Thank you guys if you made it this far in the video. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you did make it this far, and if there's anything you would like to see in my future videos as I continue development on Buster Blitz. Definitely have a bunch of kinks to work out that I learned from this week's video, and hopefully next week's video is a little bit better, but definitely just let me know what you guys think and what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next week. Alright, bye.